What's up, guys? These are my doors for my 98 S10 that is LS swapped. I'm going to be fixing these doors today with Bondo brand filler, and I'm going to show you why I trust it to put it on my custom truck. So let's get started. Let's tear these doors down. Okay, so now all the sweat work is done. I have the doors completely detrimmed, and I'm ready to start taking wax and grease to each panel and cleaning it really well so that I can see every single dent that's on here so I don't miss it, and then I can get everything fixed in one shot. Here we go. Number one priority when handling any kind of chemicals, guys, you want to be in an open area because it does have a very strong smell to it and the vapors can be harmful, and as well as gloves. I'm wearing gloves to do this right now because you don't want to get this stuff in contact with your skin. So you can see the rack get dirty pretty quick. Got quite a bit of dents down there in the bottom. I'm going to be doing a lot of filler work down there, and that's going to be where I'm going to show you majority of it. But if you can see the importance of cleaning, you can see every little thing that's on this door. There's even a few little dents up at the front. So once I'm finished going back over this again, we're going to start doing our mud work. So this is the first area I'm going to be working. So the first thing I'm going to do is strip the metal down. But before I do that, I need to get ready. So this is what I'm going to be using to protect myself and as well as to sand the panel down. So the first thing I'm going to be using is hearing protection, eye protection, and breathing protection. I'm going to be using 80 grit sandpaper to take this down to bare metal just in this area right here where I'm going to be doing my metal work. Let's get started. Okay, so now as you can see, I've got it stripped down to bare metal. I got my major dent here that I'm gonna do stud pins on. So the stud pins I'm gonna use to lightly lift this up and tap all the high spots around. So let's get started. Make sure you're wearing safety glasses when you're doing this. Sparks can fly. Now when I do this, I wanna go to the deepest part of the dent first and work my way out. And just like that, welds it on. So with this dent, it's concentrated really deep in this spot right here, but it also has a hump on the other side of my body line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one here, and I'm gonna pull it up, and then I'm gonna put another one right next to that, pull that up, and as well tap the body line down here. Good thing I was wearing my safety glasses. As you can see, the metal is already moving very easily with these two stud pins. It's not down anymore. I've tapped it with the hammer around here and knocked down all the highs. So now I'm going to show you another method that I use, and it's going to be coming from the back side to get all these here. So I'm going to lightly tap from the back side with a dolly, applying pressure here, and try to straighten out this metal without overworking it and stretching it. So the importance of that is you do not want to hit it too far, because if you hit it too far, you're going to get high spots if you don't hit it enough, you won't carry out these high spots that are already here as well. So once I start working the metal, you'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm going to use a hammer and dolly. This is a pretty simple tool to use. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to come from the back side first with my dolly, reach up underneath, get to where the damage is. I'm trying to go underneath the high spots, and I'm going to come lightly with the hammer and tap those high spots down. Check it out. You hear that sound? That means I'm on dolly. It's more of a pinging sound. And when I'm off the dolly, you'll notice it's a very hollow sound. I want to be off the dolly more than on the dolly, but sometimes when you have high spots that are kind of tricky, you can tend to go more towards on the dolly, but this works just fine to be off the dolly for this because it's not that bad. You want to continually check where your high spots are. This will help you locate them. A gloved hand works, but a bare hand is better. After I'm done with this though, because I'm using my bare hand, I'm gonna clean this metal really well. I'm gonna DA it again before I even apply my filler, so that way none of the oils and things like that from my hand get into the metal, causing contamination, making lift later on when I paint it. Sometimes if you get oil and contaminants under that layer, it'll cause rust, causing the paint to lift, ugly, then you gotta repair it again. Okay, so now I got my filler out. I'm gonna start mixing my filler. First thing I'm gonna do is get my lid off. I grabbed a paint stick for this. Paint sticks tend to work the best to mix this back and forth. When you're doing any kind of filler work, before you start just reaching in the can and grabbing some filler, you want to take the mixing stick and thoroughly work the resin that settles at the bottom of the can, so that way you have an even, nice spread. It doesn't leave a lot of pinholes. It's just a really important step. Okay, so now that I've started, I got my filler here in a decent size amount. I think that's going to be a little more than I need. You always want to put a little more than you need, just so you don't have too little. If you have too little, you're end up having to re-wipe again, and then when you do that, you have to cover the whole area again, because if you don't, you'll sand it down, and one portion of the filler where you just try to cover a small area, maybe it was a low spot, will still sand down slower than you've already sanded down the other stuff, creating a hump. So eventually you'll end up having to keep going right back over. So as I get ready to mix this, the first thing I do is I knead this really, really well. I want all that chemical hardener in there to be completely mixed and able to spread very easily. So, and then as well, when I go to here to put this on, I just want to do a little stripe, just like that. Not too little, not too much. Right across the middle I found is the best way for me. Here's my spreader. I'm gonna go with a medium-sized spreader today because I feel like this will give me the better contour, and I'll be able to control the filler a lot more. First thing I do is I kind of just mix it around here. I like to go one direction and pick it up and then re-wipe again. Okay, now that I've got my filler mixed, I'm gonna make a quick wipe first just to load the panel. And once I've loaded the panel, I'm gonna come back and keep wiping one direction as tightly as I can. And this will help prevent pinholes. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, guys. It's just how it is. But if you can prevent them, that's less work on the finished product. So again, I'm going to wipe that one direction now that I've got this panel where I think I want it. We're here in Florida, guys, so this stuff kicks differently in different atmospheres. Here I'm just going to put a little bit of a wave in that section. And there you go. I think it's good. So I'm going to let this kick. And once this kicks, I'm going to come back and I'm going to start cutting this. And you want to cut it with an aggressive paper. So I'm going to start first with 80. And I think I'm going to work my way up from there. But I honestly think one wipe, guys, and we've got this panel. I don't think we're going to have too many issues with low spots or anything like that. But just in case we do, I'll reapply again. Okay guys, so I got this 80 grit here on my long block. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start working this side to side like this in cross hatching patterns. The reason you do that is because it brings the filler down level and you don't get any straight line marks. You don't have any dips or whoops from sanding in a different awkward direction. You wanna be very uniform with this. You don't wanna go multiple directions. But this is the stuff I'm going to be using, readily available at any of your stores that you can find auto parts at. So let's get started. So as I continue to block, you can see it's coming down pretty easily. It's not very bad at all. The paper is good, it's not bad. You initially, when you first start cutting, are gonna get some clogging and everything like that, but that's just because of the gumminess on the top of this. But actually, I really like this. It's cutting really well. One time already, I can see the highs and lows showing up. I'm gonna show you something else that I use to show the highs and lows. Okay guys, this is 3M black guide coat. You apply it to the applicator here, wipe it across your filler. Get it thoroughly covered. Okay, now that it's covered, let's start sanding. Okay, this is what the 3M guide coat does for you. This is gonna show me all my highs and lows. It's gonna show me where the filler has pinholes. It's gonna show me where it has spots that are high. As soon as it opens up, the first thing you see is, as you sand across it, you'll see the black and then you'll see the pink from the filler. So this is gonna indicate to me where I've sanded too much, where I haven't sanded enough, where I haven't had enough filler applied, and again, pinholes. So pinholes are key as well if you don't want to put that into your final product. So let's get started. An important tip that I forgot to mention to you guys. As I'm blocking this out, I am not putting a huge amount of pressure. I'm literally just going back and forth very lightly, letting the block, the weight of the block and the weight of my hands on this panel block this panel out. If you apply pressure, you're gonna dig in and you're gonna cause grooves. So as you can tell guys, there's a spot right here where all that black guide coat is still staying. There's a few little spots here where drag marks from pulling the filler across. But as you can tell, this tells me right here, hey, I need to work this a little bit more. So as I come over here, I'm gonna end up trying to keep my block as level as possible. But the number one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work this area down more so that I know, hey, I don't have any low spots, I don't have dents left still in this panel. And when I go to prime it and then I paint it afterwards, I don't see any waves in the panel. So again, this is just another step that you can do to ensure that your body work is straight. I am impressed, guys, especially with this sandpaper, but not only the sandpaper, the filler. They've really upped their game. It's sanded so easy. I feel like I literally probably spent 15 minutes working this panel with a block. No DA, no power tools, no air tools, nothing like that. just a block, and it is probably 90%. I have to come back. Obviously, there's a few pinholes here and there. I don't know if I can get it to zoom or focus. There you go. You can see right there you have some micro pinholes, which is not uncommon to any filler. But man, wow, I am super impressed, especially with this paper. That's my first one. That's my second one. I only used 2 pieces of paper. Obviously, the first one clogged up because it was the initial sanding on this panel. So once I get that pretty clean and get most of it sanded there in this area, I like to switch because sometimes that stuff doesn't want to come out, and then you end up having to rub another piece of sandpaper or something on it to try to save it, and it just doles out the sandpaper and whatever. I grabbed my second piece and I finished with that. It still feels just as gritty as it was before. Wow, guys, really impressed. Take another look again. All right, I'm gonna hammer some body work out now. Time to go time lapse. Okay, as you can see, I've already started back taping the panel. I'm gonna get everything ready to go, and then I'm gonna put some primer on this thing, so here we go. Judge me on my bag job. I am done. Man, it's really noisy in here. Sorry for the fan noise. I gotta keep it going. But everything turned out awesome. No pinholes. The bodywork looks straight. Got the 2.5 with some hvlp primer. This is going to be a custom paint job, guys, and I want this truck to be as straight as possible without going to the craziest extent. But I'm happy with the results. Bondo brand filler did not let me down. I am extremely excited about the potential for the next one that I do, which is that door right there. So I had a good time, guys. This has been a long day and it kicked my butt. But as far as the filler, excellent product, great for the DIYer, and anybody can use this stuff. Practice on small stuff, work your way to big stuff. Peace!